right, whenever you putting brake fluid in the reservoir, you want to make sure you're using the correct brake fluid, which this here is dot 3. It calls for dot 3. It's right down on the side. You see where it says it calls for dot 3. Right under the warning sign off to the right, dot 3. Make sure you're using dot 3. So what you want to do is make sure you got enough brake fluid in there, so you add some if needed, dot 3, whatever your car calls for. And you see that brake fluid down in there. All right, the brake fluid fill line is right here where it's full. See, full, you fill to that line only. And that way, whenever you bleed the brakes and you don't got enough in there, you're gonna have air. So we don't wanna do that. So we added some brake fluid and we're going to take the tire off. The removal of the lug nuts. All right, we're going to be removing the brake caliper. But before you do that, these two bolts here, you have one bottom, okay, and then you have a top. So you have the top, and let me see if I can touch that. Okay, and then you have the bottom. So the bottom and then the top. You're going to loosen those up. But before you loosen these up, we're going to loosen up the brake hose bolt. Okay, loosen this up. There it is, it's loose. Now I'm just going to snug it just a little bit. I'm going to snug it so no fluid leaks. Okay. Now we're going to start the removal of the brake caliper itself. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. It's going to come with new bolts. All right. Sometimes when you're spinning these off lefty-loosey, you'll be able to hand spin them. Yep, that's hand. You can hand spin that one off. Okay. Put this down here on the bottom, and the bottom is loose. Bottom's a little tighter than the top. All right, so with that being said, keep turning it. All right, until the bolt is out of there. And we're going to put new bolts in the new caliper bracket. All right, hand spin these bolts out. This one is the bottom, so we're going to leave that one right here, and this one will be the top. I'll put the top behind me. Put the top by the top dog. There you have it. Two bolts out, and your brake caliper should come right off of the brake rotor, like so. There you go. She is off. Now we're going to take it apart and get the new one prepped for putting it on. All right, putting on the new rotor. You can see that. I showed you the old one. I'll take it off and compare both. This is the new versus the old. That's the old. And when you have bad rotors, people say, how do you know if you have bad rotors? First of all, you will see lines in this rotor worse than what a record player would look like. Okay? And you see the back. And not only that, you will be able to feel the difference. Sometimes the caliper sticks, but this here, when you're driving and you apply the brakes, you will feel a wobbling sensation and your steering wheel will start to shake. So the installation of the new rotor, front rotor. Let's go, hang on. I need two hands for this. All right, we're back. kind of want to get down there when you're doing it. Line up the holes. And there's your new rotor. It is on the vehicle. Now we're going to put the new caliper on and get it prepped. All right, everybody, after you take off the brake hose supplied to the caliper, right here you will see where the bolt goes through, and you can see the little hole where the fluid comes out. And this is a little screw up above. I just set it up top in case the new one doesn't come with one. So right here, what you want to do is clean off both sides where the crush washer will be up against. And I'll show you what a crush washer is. So it will go one on this side and one on that side. But once again, you want to clean off both sides. That way everything sits flush. All right. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure everything is flush. All right. Now what I'm doing is getting this caliper prepped for brakes going on. Let's open it up. Got the new clips. Got the clips inside, the 10 clips. There is your brake supply hose bolt. And you have, I don't know why they got that clip in there, but it's in there. We'll figure what that is in a minute. All right, unwrap it. This is the new one. All right, let's get this down. We're gonna have to prep this and get this all greased up. I call that the smash washer, the gold ones. They look gold, but they're copper. Brass, rather. Sorry, they're brass. So these are your smash washers inside. Okay. And this is your bleeder right there. Now what we're going to do is get these clips put on here. And then we're going to get these ready to be greased up with the brake lubricant. I don't know why they would tighten these up like this, but they did. So bear with me. I'm trying to loosen this up. Got them. Now these have to be ready to be greased. All right. Back up on the box. Hopefully you can see me. Yeah, you can see me. I'll move it back. Here we go. These are going to come out. All right. Like so. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. I could have time-lapsed this, but I'd rather give you this in real time. Now, see they have a little bit of grease on them, but we're going to grease these up real good. All right. Yep, we are going to grease these up really good. Now, what you want to do is make sure the one you took this out goes right back in there. This one has the rubber bushing on it. So it was actually in this end. And that's exactly where we're going to put this. Okay, so this one is going to go right in the one that it went in. So when this goes on the vehicle, it actually goes on the bottom. Yep, this will go on the bottom. All right, with the bushing. The bottom is the bushing, BB. All right, let's get this prepped for oiling and greasing. All right, now I'm getting ready to grease these up with the brake parts cleaner. Well, not the cleaner, but the brake parts lubricant. We're going to grease these up really good, like so. Get some grease on these. Yep, you want these to work perfect and the way they're supposed to work. That's the bottom. Here's the top. Grease that up nice and good. Yep, get you some brake parts lubricant when you're doing your brake jobs. It is a must. Okay. All right, now we're going to take off this caliper bracket, which is here. This is the caliper bracket, and the bushings are here. The rubber bushings, like the boot, call them the boot, rubber boots here. And your caliper bracket bolts are going to go in here. Now, they do not give you caliper bracket bolts, so you are going to have to use the ones that you already have. All right, so we can get this all greased up as well. Yep, no bolts inside the box. Let's get this greased up. You're going to grease right there, that piston. Put some grease on that piston where you're going to have contact. Okay. Get that grease on there. Yep. Grease that up. Most people put a little bit of grease. I put enough. And it's noise reduction as well. You're going to put some grease here. Okay. Put that grease right there. All right. And I'm going to show you what else. Now, this here is the caliper, and this here is the caliper bracket. All right. So what I'm going to do is put my clips inside of here. Hang on, I'll get the clips. All right, we are back, and I'm putting the clips on. Okay. The clips will go on like so. See that? Right on there. And the clips are the same. You're going to put that one there. Make sure they lock on. Now, once them clips lock on, these are where your brakes are going to lie. Now, what you're going to do is get your parts lubricant, brake lubricant, and put that grease right on in there. Don't be afraid to get some grease in there. This is where your brakes will slide side to side. Okay. And if we get any of this on the brakes itself, the pads, we are going to use the brake cleaner to get it off. So you're going to put the brake parts lubricant down into this track, like so. Okay. That's what you do. Okay. You have the grease right down into that track. And this gives you full operation of the brake pads to slide back and forth when that piston opens and closes. All right, there you go. Now we're gonna get this put together. All right, time to get this new bracket on here. Ready? All right, everybody. Got it there. We said top and bottom, bottom. Man, we'll get the top screw. All right. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. I'm hand turning this with my thumb on the ratchet. Now I'm turning it. You don't have a torque tool, I always get it snug and then a little tap with the hammer, which is I call this the love hammer. This will give me my torque that I need. This will not come off. This is not a moving part. Tap, 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 tap. That bolt on there. Come on, there you go. Tap, 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 tap. That's not going anywhere. All right. Now we're going to get the brake caliper over top and hook up our brake hose. All right, got your smash washer. Got two of them. One is going to go up against the caliper, and one is going to go on the bolt. So you're going to put one on the bolt and then one up against the washer. Put the washer, your smash washer, up against the caliper. So, and you want to make sure your washers are cleaned off, calipers cleaned off, and make sure that your brake hose is cleaned off, your brake supply line is cleaned off. And you want to make sure there is no dirt on your washers. A little bit of dirt on there can make a difference and cause a leak. Yes, it can. It could cause a leak and it won't seal properly. So with that being said, let's jump on and put this on here. They give you a new bolt. Make sure that your new bolt with the fluid hole is cleaned off as well. New versus old. You're seeing it right here, new versus old. Big difference. Look at the heads on them. Let's put that washer on there, like so. That's there. You're going to put that through here. And you're going to put the other one on the other side. Wipe off again to make sure nothing's on there to ensure a proper seal. We wiped off both, but we'll do it again. You want that proper seal on that smash washer. Okay. Now what we're going to do is put that caliper in here like so. Wait a minute, people, hang on. Ugh. So what I did was started the brake supply hose, okay? And it's going to be in the up angle position so that the hose flows up and down, all right? It only goes on one way. So what we're gonna do is get this here and make sure that those boots line up, all right? So let's get these bolts in here. So now we're gonna put these pads on. I'll show y'all what that grease was for, right? So these brake pads slide in here easy. So you put them in here, and slide it in the top just like so. There's your first pad. It's on. And let's get the second pad. Slide it right down in this groove. Slide that top one right up in there. There you have it. That's on there. Now we can put the caliper on. And y'all see why I told you, you will see why I told you that grease is important on these bolts, caliper bolts. Remember, black bushing one up towards the bleeder. See that black bushing? Here's the bleeder. This one goes on the top. Start that one. Bottom one, cleaned off and everything, like I told y'all, and extra grease so that this slides in and out perfect. All right, we're gonna find our ratchet and we're gonna start to tighten these up. All right, here we go. Let's tighten them up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Well, on here it looks like you're tightening it to the left because you're standing behind the ratchet. All right. And make sure the threads catch. And that caught. Tighten them up evenly at the same time. You will see this move back and forth like so, which is good. All right. Get it snug. Snug the bottom. Now that your brakes are on, we're going to tighten up your brake supply line, and then we're going to pump the brakes and bleed them. All right, let's tighten up our brake service line. Remember, each brass washer, one on inside and one on the outside where the bolt is. Brakes are on. Now I'm gonna pump out the caliper and she's done.